I don't really, I'm not an expert on quartering by any means. And I could go and look at YouTube videos on it. But that's one side on and locked. And that moves like that. The driving wheels, the cranks were quartered as best as I could do it by lining them up by eye, quartered by eye, not by any other means. And then this just slides on, if you know what I mean. It's locked on now. Oh dear. But what I've got it to a point whereby I'm rocking that now, just rocking it, just leaving it so it's not under any tension at all, just nicely in a position it wants to be. And this crank here, when I line it up, slides on nicely. Not that it's, yeah, so it's loose. It's not tight. And I'm hoping that means it's about right. Okay. And when I switch on the power, then it does turn. There is, you can see it, there's not, whoops, it's going to come off, and when it comes off it loses quartering, so it stops. That's as far as I've got. This is what I'm doing, turning the screw down, the nut, sorry, down tight, putting a dab of super glue onto the top, which just gets onto that top two threads, and then undoing it. I'm going to have to turn the camera phone off so that you pull the nut up, so you free it off the top hat bearing so it's loose. Not sure how clearly you can see this. Just had to take this apart. I've had to countersink the back of this connecting rod with a drill, just by hand twisting it, so that the screw or bolt, Cansuk bolt, goes through far enough to get enough threads on with the nut, which I'm now going to super glue the nut on so that it's nice and well, it's fixed, but also so that there's enough play. And unless that countersunk is made deep enough, you're not going to get enough threads through to give you the play you need. Well, I've just dropped the motor off because with the worm gear engaged, it's impossible to tell where any binding is in your quartering of these wheels. They're turning, but what I need to do is just check for any particular points where there might be some binding. And also, while the motor's off, I should be able to have a look at the worm itself. I did, when I had it inserted in there, adjust the screws to try and give me some clearance so that the worm and the gear were not causing too much vibration. You heard the vibration when it was running before. Anyway, now with the motor off, I should be able to get the motion as free as I can. I'm not going to put the motor back on now until after I've got the cylinders in place and that slide bar with this, I think they call it the cross head on the slide bar, so I can make sure that all of this is free moving before the motor goes back on.